Hey there. So today we are going to do a deeper dive into ggplot. Last time I talked about ggplot, I kind of gave you some of the same stuff you're going to hear today, but now you know so much more about R and tidyverse. So let's crawl in. Yeah. Okay. RJ, excuse me, please. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we're going to do a deep dive into the grammar of graphics. So, what does the grammar of graphics mean? Um, so essentially, how we can think of graphing, and this is at least one way to conceptualize it, is to think about it in the same way we do with English grammar, or really any language's grammar. But what it does is it allows us to put together the various parts of the plot. Excuse me. Hello, cat. Can I help you? Do you need something? Clearly, he needs attention. It does not matter when I record. There will be a cat, and there's no snacks up here for them. I have snacks for me, but not for them. Ah! Okay, so let's see if I can make some space for him so he can just chill, which is how all of these videos go when you don't see a cat. There's always actually a cat. Okay. Maybe? Maybe? Okay. Well, cool. RG, oh my goodness. I just need. Okay. So another way to kind of conceptualize this is to think about this as like orthogonal components of a graphic. So, but that doesn't have the same like alliterative appeal. And orthogonal, for those of you who haven't lived and breathed factor analysis for ages, is that they're uncorrelated. That they're uncorrelated. Okay, so the power of this approach to graphical and data visualization is that it's modular and that each aspect of the plot can be specified independently of each other, which is pretty great. So, as an example, I've produced 3 plots that I'm going to show on the next series of slides where the coordinate systems are specified separately, but the rest of the plot is the same. So I'm using the diamonds data, and for the aesthetic, I'm just filling as a function of clarity. And it's the same data, but our 3 plots, so I can show you here, we're just creating a bar plot, and then we're going to add on 2 different coordinate systems. So let me show you. So here's the basic bar plot. It was just the geom bar with a couple of little like tweaks to it, just so we all could see it, and filled with clarity. That's it. This not super exciting, but it's using the Vertis theme and just showing us what has happened. Now, what happens if we add just one extra piece? We haven't taken anything away. We've literally just added on a specification for using polar coordinates. And now we have an entirely different shaped graph that is harder to interpret, but looks way prettier. So, trade-offs. Can I help you? That's what we're working with today. And yes, you may have seen my cookies. They were my breakfast, and they were delicious. But anyway, so we can just add on one little piece and it changes what the graph looks like entirely. But we didn't need to rewrite it. And that's actually one trick, is to assign the base plot, like the key common elements, to an object here called bar plot. And then we just add on extra layers. We add on extra grammatical components. And here we've just specified that theta is y. And so instead of it being this weird bullseye thing, now it's a pie chart. So that's one kind of clever way to get pie charts to show up in ggplot. Change your coordinates. So again, that was all the same data. Now I'm going to throw on some dodged bar plots. We haven't really changed anything. I have gotten a little lazy with the formatting here and just kind of smushed everything in the smallest amount of space. You'll notice that I've snuck the aesthetic into the geom bar. I could have put it in ggplot, but I didn't because I wanted this to fit nicely on 2 lines. So yeah, we're going to do a dodged bar plot, just regular one. Then we're going to throw in some polar coordinates, and then we're going to specify what theta is. So looks pretty cool. Cool. And remember, we have not changed this object assignment, and yet here, just throwing on a different coordinate system gives us an entirely different plot. It's just spun around. And then if you throw theta in, it looks cool. Is it particularly helpful? No. But by making all these different variants of plots, ow, that's my arm. By making all these variants of plots, okay, let's see if we can get rid of some of the noisy stuff that won't show back up. Okay. All right, here's what we're gonna do. That'll buy us like 1 or 2 frames. So yeah, let's just keep going. So yeah, so that's just, I guess, kind of a basic illustration of some of the coolness that you can do with ggplot, by just adding extra pieces. So yeah, let's keep going.